Hello, this is Lucinda Brown with Bible Buying Guide, and today we are taking a look at the Cambridge ESV Diadem Bible. This Bible is based on the Pitt Minion Reference Bible with 20% larger text and is available with or without the Apocrypha. The hardcovers that I have here will be available this year, and the leather covers will be coming sometime next year. The major differences besides the covers are that these have 36 GSM paper and are black letter editions, whereas the leather cover ones will have 32 GSM paper and will be red letter edition. We were provided these Bibles in exchange for an honest review. Now, these Bibles were printed in Belarus by the Worldwide Print Corporation. We have these reproductions of oil paintings on the dust jackets with this dark navy or black dust jacket on this one and the purple on the one with the Apocrypha. Without the dust jackets, they are almost identical. They are navy with the gold lettering on both the front and the spines. And then these debossed spine indications, 3 of them on the spine of each one of them, and the crown, the diadem, debossed on the front. The liner is an extra thick vinyl paste down liner, and this is one of the thickest end sheets we have seen in any Bible. Both of these have a sewn binding that has no trouble staying flat anywhere in the Bible, and both come with a single navy ribbon that is 1/4 of an inch wide and just long enough to help you open the pages at the corner. Both Bibles are 8.5 inches tall by 6 inches wide. The standard edition is about 1.25 inches thick, while the one with the Apocrypha is about 1.5 inches thick. The standard edition weighs 1 pound, 14.5 or a little more ounces. And the one with the Apocrypha weighs 2 pounds and between 3 and 4 ounces. The paper on these is slightly rough, but it still has an elegant feel. And the pages turn easily and don't stick together, even when you try and turn them one-handed. It is an off-white that is highly opaque and very little show-through, except, of course, where there isn't any text on this side of the page, and there is on the other side. For this Bible, it seems to be excellent for reading, and it also seems like the paper might be good for highlighting and marking. I might be doing a smaller written post specifically about using various pens and markers and highlighters on this paper at a later date. The page edges are white and the corners are square cut. The font is an 8.1 lexicon with an 8.5 point leading. There's about 8 words per line, and it is line matched throughout to reduce the show through. This is an all black letter edition, and the ink seems to be about a medium darkness and very consistent in color throughout the Bible. The inner margin is large enough that the words don't get lost in the gutter, and the verse numbers are small and very light and can be hard to find at times. The little cross-reference and footnote keys are small and light enough to easily ignore while you're reading. We have noticed that in the poetic settings, you end up with a lot of lines with a single word, which is not ideal. They could have, like I said, this is a good size for reading, for holding and layout, but the text does seem to be a bit dense in spots, or some people might find it a little dense. And there might not be quite enough room for underlining unless you're doing it with a very fine point pen. The cross references are in the center column, with the ones for the left column being left justified and at the top, and the ones for the right column being right justified and at the bottom. When they don't have enough room for all the references, they are included at the bottom of a page. over here on the right column. And they do have the reference numbers kind of bold, so it's easier to see which verse all of these references correspond to. The footnotes are again at the bottom of the right column, after the last verse, but before the references if there are any. And these don't have a numbered key. Don't give you the verse numbers, just the little numbers for the key for where it's from. Most of these footnotes are translation notes, and they include things like alternate or literal translations, Hebrew and Greek terms, English equivalents of weights and measures, and manuscript variations. The Concordance is 89 pages in 3 columns and 14,000 entries. So this is about twice the size of the Concordance you would find in the Pitt Minion, and is much more comparable to the Concordance you would find in the Cambridge Wide Margin. There are 15 full color maps on a non-glossy paper. This is a really nice paper for maps. And there's an 8-page color-coded index where black is town and red is political nations or regions. Green is the land, physical attributes of the lands like mountains and water. That is really nice that you know what it is you're looking for. At the front, we have the table of weights and measures, which is in the Wide Margin and the Pitt Minion, but is found in the back in those Bibles. We also have this nice little chronology of rulers during biblical times, which is not found in either of those Bibles. In the edition with the Apocrypha, we have 20 books or additional chapters. I think one of the books is like at the 151st Psalm. Apocrypha is found between the Old and the New Testament. And it does have translation notes and references. These references will reference both other books in the Apocrypha and in the standard 66 books, but the references in these 66 books do not reference any verses in the Apocrypha, even in the Bibles that have one. There's also an article at the front of this one about the ESV version of the Apocrypha, how it was developed, and at the end of it, there are a couple of maps, black and white maps. So that's nice. This is an excellent hand-sized Bible. It fits a similar spot in the Cambridge lineup as the Clarion, but it isn't as clean because of a 2-column layout, and the text is a little bit smaller than what you will find in a Clarion. The advantage of this one over the Clarion is that this is the same layout as what you find in the Pitt Minion and the Wide Margin, and you could have 3 Bibles that are laid out exactly the same. That's a nice combo for people who want one to carry, one to study, one to read, one to preach from. If you are a fan of the Pitt Minion, but would like for it to be just a little bit bigger, we highly recommend this Bible. But if you're looking for a large print Bible, then maybe this is not the Bible for you. Me and Randy both like hardcover Bibles, so we like these editions. And if you wanted a specialty cover, these seem like they would be very nice Bibles for rebinds. Randy has done a written review of this Bible and a separate video that has all the comparisons of this and quite a few other Bibles. And links to that video and the written review, plus places to purchase these Bibles, will be down below. Thank you for watching, and of course, like, subscribe, and hit the notification button if you want to see more of our reviews.